Hey, come see us on tour. We'll be in Duluth, Georgia, Jacksonville, Florida, Los Angeles, Tempe, Arizona, and Burbank, California. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for those tickets. So here she says, what's she going to do on day one? Here's what she says.
The voters are really eager to hear what your plans are. If you are elected, what would you do on day one in the White House?
Well, there are a number of things. I will tell you first and foremost, one of my highest priorities is to do what
I'm sorry, but I have to stop it. Every time she talks, almost every time she talks, she sounds either like she's had a couple of too many wines or she just woke up and is hungover. Yeah,
first and foremost.
Is that me? Or she took too many she took too many painkillers. Maybe a little bit too much cough syrup. You get what I'm saying, right?
She's on the lean. That's
Maybe
to help her go from Indian to black. Is she drinks lean now?
So I don't know what that is. What's lean?
That's syrup.
Okay, here we go.
Purple syrup.
Rewind a little bit. Do you see what her tell is, Jimmy? She has to touch her face before she can answer this question.
Oh, really?
Yeah, watch.
Oh, here we go.
You won in the White House.
Day one.
Well, there are a number of things. I will tell you first and foremost, one of my highest priorities is to do what we can to support and strengthen the middle class. When I look at
my notes,
the aspirations, the goals, the ambitions of the...
When I look at my notes.
She's looking at her notes right now. What's the first thing you're going to do when I get into office? And then she kind of tap dances around it. First I'm going to do the thing the
That's
American
really the
public.
point.
Like
where you said my notes, she goes, I look at the aspirations and dreams.
Yes.
That's the part written down for her.
Like she's got to do a face scratch, one of these weird ticks before you don't have that question like in the holster. You don't have that answer ready. Here's what I'm going to do day one. I'm going to do this, and this, and this. Boom. Vote for me. She's like, here we go.
Well, cough syrup makes you itchy.
Yeah. I know Vicodin makes me itchy. I know that.
Yeah. That's the lean. I'm telling you.
Aspirations, the goals, the ambitions of the American people. I think that people are ready for a new way forward, in a way that generations of Americans have been fueled by hope and by optimism.
First of all, she says a new way forward. You mean from the current administration that you're part of? You mean a different way from what we've been doing the last 4 years? That's weird that she says that. They want a new way forward, away from what me and Joe have been doing. What is she?
Well, she wasn't the border czar, Jimmy. So
no, she was not.
Nothing. She literally did nothing. They struck the one thing off of her resume that she supposedly did.
The one thing.
I think, sadly, in the last decade, we have...
I mean, she looks hammered. I can't get over it. She looks like somebody doing an impression of Betty Davis hammered.
Sadly... The last decade.
She looks hammered.
Tim, take over. Come on.
Had in the former president someone who has really been pushing an agenda and in an environment that is about diminishing the character and the strength of who we are as Americans, really dividing our nation. And I think people are ready to turn the page on that.
You realize that you're on the page that you want to turn right now, right? Because you're the vice president. So the page we're on that you want to turn, you're on that page. And then when we turn the page, you're on that one too. You're going to be on both pages. This is anyway. Wow. This was such a bad idea to wait this long because now everybody's focused on this interview. Instead of this just being another interview that she did for CNN, if this would have been her 10th interview instead of her first, no one would have even noticed this interview and how weak she is.
It gets to them if you go like, she's going to be bad to interview. So then the team's like, we got to put her on an interview and it's got to be great. It's really like stick in your bicycle tires meme.
Okay, here we go. Next up is then something remarkable happened. CNN unexpectedly asked a good question, pressing Harris on economic issues. She brought up here it is.
You talked about, you call it the opportunity economy, you are well aware that right now many Americans are struggling. There's a crisis of affordability. One of your campaign themes is we're not going back. But I wonder what you say to voters who do want to go back when it comes to the economy specifically, because their groceries were less expensive, housing was more affordable when Donald Trump was president.
Well, let's start with the fact that when Joe Biden and I came in office, during the height of a pandemic, we saw over 10 million jobs were lost. People, I mean, literally, we were all tracking the numbers. Hundreds of people a day were dying because of COVID. The economy had crashed. In large part, all of that because of mismanagement by Donald Trump.
Oh, I thought it was.
What?
I thought it was because Dr. Fauci funded gain-of-function research at the Wuhan Institute that led to the COVID virus and being leaked, and then causing a global pandemic. That's what I thought it was, but apparently it wasn't.
Wait, but she just got done saying people are saying they had it better under Trump.
Yes.
And you're saying when you got there, it was a disaster. No, what? You're not answering the question. It wasn't a disaster.
I think she's talking about the OnlyFans economy. I think that. Okay.
Of that crisis. When we came in, our highest priority was to do what we could to rescue America. And today, we know that we have inflation at under 3%. A lot of our policies have led to the reality that America recovered faster than any wealthy nation around the world. But you are right. Prices, in particular for groceries, are still too high. The American people know it, I know it. Which is why my agenda includes what we need to do to bring down the price of groceries. For example, dealing with an issue like price gouging. What we need to do to extend the child tax credit to help young families be able to take care of their children in their most formative years. What we need to do to bring down the cost of housing. My proposal includes what would be a tax credit of $25,000 for first-time home buyers.
Wow. Do you see how long it took for her to get to that? It took all that blather for her to get to a tax credit. Yay! 25,000 tax credit for new homeowners. That won't even cover the moving costs, but yay!
Maybe I could buy a car to live in.
Democrats have a way of making inconsequential BS sound just like they cured baldness or something. Okay, yay. Okay, I think she's got more to say.
So they can just have enough to put a down payment on a home, which is part of the American dream and their aspiration, but do it in a way that allows them to actually get on the path to achieving that goal and that dream.
So
that's it. That's it.
San Dimas high school football rules.
That's it. That's that. She'd been for a month and a half. She'd been working up to that answer.
Wow,
a month and a half.
Awesome.
This is unbelievable. Hey, come see us on tour. We'll be in Duluth, Georgia, Jacksonville, Florida, Los Angeles, Tempe, Arizona, and Burbank, California. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for those tickets.